Hey, good morning. Let's light a candle for all the people in the world that are struggling and hurting and possibly being, you know, really bad things happening to them, whether they're kids or adults. So I just want to ask a blessing for all the people, whether they're in a war-stricken country or here in the USA or any other country that needs food or shelter or comfort or protection from predators of any type. So, with that being said, let's move forward. I need to set an alarm on this. I started this before I did that. So, my last video I went to make, did it too long. Let me set this. Set an alarm for 35 minutes. And it wouldn't upload. So
there, your alarm's set for 8:51 a.m.
So I had did a bunch of work to show you what to do after you painted, and you wanted to go over everything with gel pens. I don't know if you can see the shine on it with the glitter gel pens, but when I do a painting like this, I really like to go all out, and I noticed that there's no way I know how to cut that video down. If I figure it out, then I'll post it. But I also got some new paint pens, and we're going to add in, let me get a couple little sheets right here. I like to keep cut index cards. Look, paint's coming out real easy on this one, so it's primed and good. Maybe I should have got it all ready, but I didn't. I bought 2 brand new ones and meant to open those, but I just decided to go ahead and start. Let's see. Alright, we got the black going. I want to put possibly some fluorescent yellow in here. Let's see if it'll come out. I bought this box of, that one's real sticky. It wasn't the best when I bought it. It was, a few of them worked really good. It was this Painters Express Yourself neon colors, and like this yellow is grungy. It's got, as much as I want to use it, it keeps, I don't know if I got that in there, but let's see if we can get this white one working. And then I bought a chalk pen. See, this has black on it because I've been using it somewhere else. I do a lot of artwork. Alright, now it's coming out. Sometimes they can blob out and cause you a problem, and that's one reason why I keep these little pads around, or just loose leaf. I get a cutter and I just cut them so that we know, or I have to clean my gel pen off. But what I did was I painted the little painting. I changed it and changed it and changed it, but I'm going to go back to the original state and work on that again. But what I want to show you is when I add in other things, like I like this permanent chalk marker. And I don't know if my camera is to where you can see me work or if it's not. And it's overshadowed by other things. Let me get situated here the way I'm sitting. But hi and welcome. And I am a lifelong artist. I've been painting since I was 2 and did a lot of artwork during very stressful times of my life to work on my emotions and pain and sufferings and whatever else I'm going through at that time. I care deeply about the children of the world and people that are enduring any type of essay or any type of abuse. So I had gone over everything and added color in, and the video just was an hour and a half, and it would upload to 99%, and then it would just shoot right back out and defeat me. So let's see what this white will do right here. There's iridescent in there, but I want to believe I've let this dry for 3 days, but I just touched it, and the ink is still wet somewhere. So we're going to try to work with this and see where we can take it, enhance it, and I may go over colors that I like or I don't like. Like these are silvers, and right now we can tell that this chalk marker is getting dirty. So I'm going to see how it's getting dirty. It's already picking up the black, and I may not even be able to clean it off again. And it may be very well used up. I've used it for some time. Oh, it's still writing, but I think it's picking up the black ink. So we're not going to use that one. We're going to try to move to the next one. I want a fine tip pen. Here's a fine tip and a painter's marker. Let's see if I got paint coming out. But they can glob and blob, and yep, here it goes. And if you screw up somewhere and you get a different acrylic on it, it's not always going to work for you. Sorry, my kids. Oh, he's a noisy boy. You never know if you're going to hear him in the background hooting and hollering and having a good time or having an issue. This one's not wanting to work very well either. I don't know. I've tried to prep everything. That's why I got the new ones. But I didn't get the razor to cut the edge. I've learned that if you get a straight edge razor and you just go across this right here, it's so easy to open. But when I do these little paintings like this, I like to, see, once again, it's not wanting to come out. Here it comes, and then it comes in a glob. This may be a broken one. And I hate that they break like that, and you've got so much paint still in them, and they won't roll or paint correctly. And I don't know if they're made to be used on top of inks, but here it comes. Or if they're not, we're going to go over some little areas just to enhance and make it brighter. Now, sometimes in this process, you have to stop and get it'll see it's already picking up black, and get the paint flowing again. But I noticed this one's leaking out the side, so hopefully it's gonna just do what I want and not what it wants today. But I'm gonna go back over that chalk marker, and I don't think it likes going over the silver, but we're gonna go over the silver anyway. I was trying to keep the silver. I think what I'm trying to show you is that as much as we think maybe a painting is possibly done, there's so much more that we can add to it. I'm going to go in here and see if I can get that without it turning black. I never know what I'm going to outline in black or what I'm going to outline in white. But once you do, and it dries again, you're able to go back over it with another gel pen. What I like is and see I have so much paint on here that dripped out. I'm just going back and trying to pick some of it up and get some of it on there. I don't know where I want to put it yet. But we want to try to make some shapes with what we have. Now, you could probably get a better paint pen. I'm going to go back over this to try to get it whiter. But these white areas that I'm adding in are going to be probably colored with gel pens. I always feel like you can never have enough color. Like right here, it's probably going to pick up that pink. You see it's already bleeding from the pink ink that I used. So let me get it white again. Now I made a little heart in here. But it adds to it as the paint will start to bleed with the ink. And you gotta try to wipe off any little bit that you see might be a hard piece. Like I can see I've got an acrylic blob right there. So that little blob is gonna keep your paint from flowing. And then just make sure your finger is dried off before you start again. There's a little blue heart right here. I don't want to lose it. And we did have an X right there, and it turned into a gray circle. So I'm going to go over that because I want to accent that X right there. I guess I'll go up in it so that we can see like how that white turned, it just flat out turned pink. And that's why I like to work with inks, because I never know what is going to adhere and what's going to change. And I like the constant, it's like life is constantly changing, and we have to learn to adapt to the changes around us. But I always believe that there's so much more that we can add. Instead of just saying, oh, we're done. I want to work it and work it and work it until I know for a fact that it's done. And the video wasn't going to allow me to show you the whole process of coloring everything because it was just too long. But here's some. I like to add in dots and circles. And see what picks up the inks. I want to go back over this one. And sometimes you've got to let it try to dry before you can get it to get a good second layer on it. Give it a minute or two, you know, if it's a thin layer. But I'm trying to get some more paint out of this one. And I'm picking up little hairs and little fibers from either the paint or this paint pen. You always got to keep some kind of rag or towel around. Like sometimes I'm wanting to go over this silver right here. Now, it may not make sense right now, but as it dries and you go into the next stage of coming back with gel pens, you're able to color in those white spots. Let's get, I got all these gel pens lined up to use, but what I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to let this dry. There's just no way I'll be able to do what I want if it's wet. You cannot use your gel pen over a wet paint pen. It will ruin it. But it always enhances everything. Even though I went over everything with ink, I'm going to go back over it with black. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. That's why I think when people are, doing we all start off, with a primitive, basic. See, I'm changing that X totally. Thought I was going to save it, but I'm not. Here's an X here. The primitive idea of your basic little ocean and a tree and some water, and you put an hour into it and want to sell it for $200. To me, that's just not logical thinking. And not that this is worth $200. Maybe it's worth more. Maybe it's worth nothing. Maybe it's something I'll just give away. I'm not sure yet. But I liked the original design. But I just feel like design just doesn't stop. And there are no mistakes. We just keep working it until we realize that, say like right here, I want to go over those black around those white circles. Not really knowing why, I just do. And let me push these out of the way. These are all the colors that I want to continue to put in after I'm done. But I think what I'm gonna, even though I went around it with a black glitter, I'm gonna go back around the edges with a black paint pen. Even if I go out of the line, I don't care. I really don't care. I like it when it's bleedy and messy. I don't want mine like everybody else's. Perfect and cropped edges and staying in the lines and not getting color anywhere else. It just, to me, it's part of our world of conformity. I'm not a conformist. I prefer to create my own. Not that I go against the law. It's not that. It's I don't want to be like everybody else with what they're doing. Like keeping a clean cropped edge and not having any paint come past this point, or like right there, that's where I got some ink on it from the palm of my hand. But I wish I could have uploaded the video of how I showed to color over everything. And now see, I'm wanting to go in and do some dots in this white. For whatever reason, I just kind of go with the flow of what's going on and try to make it its own. There's something about black and white I just love, and pinks. And I constantly have to go and make sure I've got ink flow. Now there's little fibers that I think wear away, and they show up in our paint pen. But if it causes you too many problems, you need to get a tweezer or something and try to pull that loose fiber off if it's not allowing you to make a clear dot. See, I didn't know I was going to dot all this. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do. But these new white areas, they're going to allow for me to either keep them white or come back in after this dries and add in fluorescent colors if I choose. Even though I have dots, I can still add those fluorescent colors. And the reason I layer and layer and layer and layer is because, like, see, that fiber is sticking right off there. I don't know if you can see that tiny little fiber. It's from using it so much. I like that the colors continue to change, and whatever was there prior continues to show through. Like if it's a layer of pink that's behind there that bled through in the process of inking it. I mean, I just love gel pens and ink. To me, they're like the rebel. Oh, I should get a fine point at this point, but I'm going to take the risk and do little bitty, super fine dot. And when I add on these dots and stripes and extra colors in, then it still reminds me of like a zebra or retro and see, once I did this, I'm probably going to go back and use the white again. Let me find where I stuck the lid to this. That's one thing. When you're working with things like this, if you don't keep up with where your lid is. This was the fine point. You'll be sitting there going, where's the lid? And you'll panic because I lose my lids often if I don't. Trying to maintain some kind of control over them. All right, now I've got the white fine point again. And anything that I went over with white that didn't adhere to the degree I wanted it white, now's the time to try to go back over it, because I want a real clear, crisp white. And always go over, see, just that little bit made my paint tip turn gray, so I have to go and kind of scribble it out. And I think that's where the fiber tears start to happen. And then I'm going to press down again and get some paint on there. It can sometimes form a ball and just drip out and really upset you. It feels like your whole picture's ruined. But that's what I want to talk about, is it's not ruined. You just have to turn it into something else. Like that's wanting to drag on that acrylic just a bit because it isn't quite dry enough right here. So you got to go real lightly over it to get that clean. And like, I like how it turned pink in there. But see this stuff right here, the dirty, where it got dirty, I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to be writing through there. I'm going to find some kind of quote. See, and this is bothering me right here, so I'm going to add some white dots. And I want this X clear, so I'm going to make sure that it's outlined, because it's still going to change. No matter what I do, it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And that's why I was like telling people, you know, why don't you keep trying to paint that a little bit longer than leaving it as just plain old basic. There's so much more you can add. And it's like you've got your tree and they scribble in the leaves, but they don't do any definition. I like to define more of what I'm doing, and if it gets covered up, then okay. If it alters it, that's all right too. A lot of paintings start off with things you don't want to change, but as you go through the process, there's no other way around it. It's just going to change no matter what you do. This little heart, I want. And these pens take, a day or two to dry. even though I'm going over those black circles, I'll go back in and leave a dot in it. I never know how it's going to turn out, what it's going to conform to, what it's going to become. And then, for some reason now, I want to... There's my alarm. Hold on just a second. If I don't do this, then it's pointless. Set my alarm for 20 more minutes. I'll go over the...
You got it. Your alarm's set for 9:11 a.m.
I'll go over the amount of time that the video won't upload, because I can just work and work and work on it. But I like to work real little, even though I have some big paintbrushes for big paintings. Working little, to me, these kind of little artworks, they're great for framing and setting on a piano, or putting in your kitchen window in a frame, or, you know, in a guest bathroom. Let's see, right now all I'm getting is gray. I've ran it over so much black. I'm not getting a clear white. Here's some right there. And if it puddles, then you just dip it back in and go back over it. And I don't always want everything to connect. It's okay to have disconnect. But from what I can see, it's going to need 2 layers, because it's losing its white right there. And then I'm going to come through here and put a white. But I don't want to connect that white there. What I'm trying to show you is that your picture is always evolving. Like it got a drug in it, and it's because it was still too wet. Now I want to put a few white dots right there. And then I guess I want to put a white dot in here. And then I want to go back over. Don't panic when you're doing this and thinking, oh, I'm going to lose my dot. No, you're just going to go and come back and put another black dot in there. So what I'm seeing that I need next is, you see this? I want to And I'll see just a few more spots and then we're going to stop this video. I want to white dot around this black right here. And the lighter you touch, even if it's a bigger, instead of constantly pressing on your gel pen, just go back to the puddle it made, your paint pen, and pick up some paint. Because these dots they help your eye start to flow in a direction, or it helps to find something that gets lost. And now see how it's got that pink. It turned totally pink there, but I want to make an efforted attempt to white dot it. We'll see what it does. Now, right here, for some reason, I want to circle those black dots again. And I think that's going to bleed through. I could be mistaken. And then right here, we're just going to make a little white square. So you try to add in as much as you can. Here's some black circles or black dots in there. And see how the little square is starting to turn pink. You want to try to add in shapes or a line. It all makes sense in the long run when you're done. But as you're doing it, your mind is saying, no, I can't do that. But the truth is you can. And what you feel might be going against the grain of standard. You want to get outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes we just stay in our comfort zone and we don't allow our minds to travel any further than what we feel comfortable with. And art is messy. Art is fun. I'm not a person that can paint realistic anymore. I was hit by, well, the first one was an accident, but I don't know how to put it in words. I want to talk about it, but it's extremely shocking and very traumatic, and I don't know how to talk about it yet. But I got a head injury from having to exit a car going 75 miles an hour to save my life. And there's more to this story. And once I hit the ground, I hit my head. And ever since, I've never been able to paint realistic. So I just said, forget it. I'll just go with design. So here we go. We've got it loaded up. And let's just check out that one's closed. Here it is. We'll see if we can add just a little bit more black. And if the camera cuts off or the buzzer goes, then so be it. But there'll be maybe 2 more videos on this and this technique. See where that white line is? I'm just going back and putting the black dots back. I want to counter-react everything, if that is the right word. But I'm not going to worry. My finger almost slid in it, and I'm not going to panic and go, it's ruined, it's ruined. No, it's not ruined. It's got its own unique life about it. Everything does not have to be controlled. You do not have to conform. You are an individual who can do as they please, as long as, you're not out harming people. I mean, there are laws, but it's an exercise to help you as a person feel better. That I don't care if somebody tells you can't do that. You know what? Who's that person to tell you that? You can. You can make it however you want it. It doesn't have to be in art a certain way. And I've known this for a long time. But a lot of people are scared to venture past that stage of just basic, do the same thing, and don't add any definition or any kind of individuality to your work. And so it becomes its own pattern of fun, playful. Plus it gives your mind a chance to relax from all the chaos and garbage the world throws at us. We need a break from the everyday stuff we go through. Traffic and driving and grocery shopping and unloading the groceries, loading the groceries, and just life can really do a number on you, especially if you've been injured or you have any kind of PTSD or depression or anything of that nature. This helps you. Or anxiety or now, I think we've got a lot going on there. Maybe not enough yet. I just want to fill it and fill it and fill it. I guess what I'm going to do right here is put one little black right there. And then one right there. And I think this part of the video is done, because the next video is going to go back over some of this white and some of this gel pens again. And sorry that the video I made to show you how to work with the gel pens on the acrylics wouldn't upload, but it just wouldn't. Right here I see something real quick, and then I'm going to turn this off. You see this little spot right here? It almost, if I can do it successfully, it look like a heart. We're just going to throw it in there. And I don't want to mess with it right now until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. So, I'm just showing you what I do in my free time and showing you how you do not have to follow any kind of rules when it comes to art. And whether you work big or small, like I have some paintbrushes that are huge. They're in the bath, 2 of them are in the bathroom. Like you can see the size of this compared to what I've got going on right here. The 2 biggest ones are in the bathroom, but they're like really, they need to be washed. But the size difference of what I'm working on compared to what I could be working on, and I like to work small sometimes. It's easier. But I'm gonna go back to the original that I did on this and make another video because I really liked it. So y'all have a blessed day. Hope everybody has something good to eat. I know the world is really pushing our buttons right now. If it means baking some cookies or baking a cake or something from scratch, just have at it. If things are really, really bad, I hope and pray that somebody comes along and blesses your day. All right. Hot pink jalapenos here. We'll talk to you another time. Bye.